Oh, there's no more Dryads! Titan instead, I guess. What is... This is crazy. This is crazy. Come on, down to the wire. We need to go fast. On the play again, too. This is quite possibly the luckiest league I've ever played. Hello and welcome, guys. We are here with Amulet Titan. Today, I'm playing F&M Online, and as you can probably see on the right side, I've got some chat up because currently, I am streaming for the first time ever. I don't know if this is going to be a consistent thing, especially given that I don't have a whole lot of time in med school at the moment, but I figured that tonight, instead of going to F&M, I might as well give streaming a shot, so got one of the longtime followers of the channel, Tormond, also known as Rancid Flesh on Twitch, obviously popping in here immediately. 1:30 a.m. Whew. You're crazy, but I appreciate you being here. And yeah, so as for the list, there's really nothing interesting to note other than the fact that I'm playing Cultivator Colossus, which I still hate, but I actually think that people are going to be testing around with 4-color, the 60-card builds, maybe playing Kahira, maybe not. So I think having one Cultivator makes sense, but... And yeah, so I mean, I don't really have much to say about the sideboard. We're playing a couple of Kuras and no Hydroid Crisis because we're not trying the blue splash today. Kura obviously is something that the fans have wanted to see from the more recent tech that I and some other players have started to play, and I think that Kura has a lot of potential in the Murktide matchup. I actually did record a league with Murktide, not with Murktide, with Kura, but then some of the videos got messed up, so I guess this will be the debut of Kura on the channel. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it, so I'm just gonna hop straight in for match 1. The world will know that you are the first person to join in the stream here on the play against Binzao. I mean, yeah, I think we can just do better than this. Any hand with a turn 1 Amulet is better. Any hand with additional lands. Cultivator Colossus is basically a mulligan already. I mean, we have Explorer, but we're not doing anything until turn 3. You know I hate these kinds of hands. I cannot see what you dab here. I'll dab for you. Oh, you probably can't see it all anyways. Hey, we get to Grazer out Saga on one, so we'll definitely keep this. Something's telling me that we could throw away the TOS, but I also kind of feel like the extra land's redundant, because we're going to go Grazer in the Saga. I guess we want to play TOS on turn 2, rather than having to play out Sanctuary. I guess we could Sanctuary pick up Beseiju, but then we lose bounce land, so I think I'm just putting back Summoner's Pact here. Just to go ahead with the plan. I'm gonna have to get used to this. I dropped the pack. That's ultimately what I came to, so. I always hate how in these Twitch streams the comments are so delayed. It annoys me every time. As a viewer, you know, it annoys me as a streamer too, so I guess it works out, huh? And we are immediately rewarded for bottoming pack by drawing a redundant threat, so there's that. Yeah, I guess that means we have Titan next turn thanks to Azusa, so... Or Grazer, either way. Turn 1 Birds of Paradise got me scared that this is Yawgmoth. Burning Catacombs is kind of confirming that suspicion, so... Grist. Ugh. I mean, we're gonna be able to attack and kill that, so actually it's fine. False alarm. I guess we just need to dodge main board mages here. Or second Grist. We also draw the Azusa, which is pretty good. That's pretty good, don't you think? We'll get Amulet Hero, of course. Yep. See, this is just my recompense for streaming for the first time. I just get the perfect top decks. I mean, to be fair, it did all start with the appropriate mulligan choice. So, I would just say deserved. Dude, I'm so likely to get distracted by chat here and just make a mistake immediately. I can feel the blunder happening. What's good, mistaken? leaving green source in place so that we don't die to Summoner's Pact if all possible. I honestly might just fetch double forest off the attack. I think that's like a little too much, but for those of you who don't know, by the way, Mistaken also streams, and sometimes it's Amulet Titan, sometimes it's not. Yep. This is game 1, so I'm feeling pretty strongly like there's not a strong likelihood of mages, but this Grist is hyper dead, by the way. Super freaking dead. So now's the question. Do we just get double basic force to play around mages, or do we get another blue source to set up a TOS? I mean, we even have Summoner's Pact in hand, so like, I don't really think we're losing to anything here if we just get double forest. I guess they could have like Thought Seize and second Grist, but honestly, I'm not doing that. I'd rather play around a freaking mainboard Mages of the Moon than that, so. In case you meant if we're playing Blood Moon in the sideboard, heck no. No way. No. That's a little too spicy for my liking. Looks like a pretty good start against the Yogg matchup, I would say. By the way, for those of you watching at home, I am currently listening to music, although you probably can't hear it, hopefully, through the stream, because I have the desktop audio disabled. But if you guys want to pull up some music and listen to it on your own, put it low enough that you can still hear my belligerent talking, then, you know, it's probably worth it. How the turns have tabled, Mistaken. Since I'm the streamer and now you're the attendee. There's the Eldritch Evolution into Grist. I guess we can't necessarily cast Titan here unless we top deck a bounce land. So that's kind of annoying, but like not the end of the world. You know what it was? I should have picked up a bounce land instead of the Slayer Stronghold. I kind of autopiloted that. There's an Explorer. Oh wait, that's right. We don't have a pack to pay for. Dude, I'm so distracted. So I guess we're playing Slayer Stronghold and getting a Titan and double striking and, you know, doing the thing. So 4, 5, 6 should be fine. We're gonna want to keep a Boros Garrison up, so we're just gonna Vesuva that, but dude. So yeah, the streaming makes this a little bit more scuffed, but luckily never punished, so. We'll get Valakut and a white source for our Sun Home here. And we're not going for Grist this time. This Grist is fine. Paste this and pick up Bounce Land to ensure ourselves in the future like I didn't do last time. Go to combat. It's probably a way to have done... I guess we can kill Grist here anyways, but... I was going to say, there's probably a way we could have done something fancy here, but... the Pain Train. They didn't even get to feel the Pain Train because they just immediately lost. Oh, we're only playing 2 Dismembers. If I had realized that before I started, I probably would have put a 3rd Dismember, but that's okay. Doing great. So, yeah. I don't even know if I like Relic in this matchup, because holding up the 1 mana is kind of awkward. Same with, like, pitching to get Endurance in play. I mean, it stops us from dying to the combo, but at the cost of 2 cards? Like, is it better to just get there otherwise? Like, have real cards in hand? Exosis is kind of slow, too. Like, Exosis on 1 could be very good. It stops, like, Cord, and, I mean, it just depends on how fast they get out. I don't think I really like Exosis here either, to be honest. I think Relic is defensible, and obviously Dismembers are good, but I don't think I want anything else, to be honest. And then we can cut some irrelevant lands, like Bog and Cavern, for sure. Maybe it's just Bog, double Cavern. If they want to force and hit our Saga Amulet turn 1 start, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to win this matchup in whatever ways we can, so either they're gonna have it or they won't, so. No, don't rest in peace, our opponents. They deserve this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep in the Cultivator. I looked at it, I was like, oh, I hate this, and then I realized that Necromentia is a thing, so Yeah, we'll just run this. Honestly, there's an argument for possibly trimming on Explorers, but I guess Explorers play around Thoughtseize as well. The classic all lands Titan hand. I think this is a snap mulligan, especially considering our Saga might not survive, so. So we'll mulligan this one. And remember what I said about the whole dying to Force of Vigor thing? I did say that, did I not? What just happened? We win the match, guys. I guess we're not losing to Force, huh? Did they mulligan or something? No, they kept 7. Maybe they kept on accident? Okay. Yeah, it was too easy. So I guess we're jumping in here for match 2. Let me make sure I remember to update the record here. Everybody lament the untimely early death of our opponent there. In here for match 2 on the play. Yeah, we get the... I mean, I would call this the perfect hand. A lot of people are all about the turn 2 double Amulet into Titan thing, but honestly, just turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Titan. That's my jam, so... This is gonna be another quick game. Oh no. Oh no. No, don't do it. I spoke too soon. Blood Crypt. Whew. That's so much better for us than Overgrown Tomb. Okay, so they're just putting a Fury into play with a Malakir Rebirth or something. I mean, thank you for not killing this Dryad, I guess. I mean, it's a clock, but turn 3 Titan with Dryad out, that's also a clock, so... Black-red scam, yep. Called it. Garenbrig's interesting. I guess that means even if they had second Fury, we can Titan on turn 3 here, so... This will be a hard matchup. We'll see. We'll see. We got Kura in the sideboard just waiting, you know? Get our blue source in play for Talaria West purposes. Yeah, even if they have second Fury here and they kill our Dryad, we're still getting Titan into play next turn thanks to picking up Urza's Saga. Not trying to get value on that one. Actually, I guess holding it is kind of getting value, but because we play Garenbrig here, that means that next turn we have guaranteed Titan, assuming both our Amulet and Dryad stay in play, so... What's the likelihood that we're going to be attacking into a Fury and losing our Titan? With, like, first strike damage plus a bolt or something. It's possible. Unless we double strike our Titan. Or kill the Fury with Valka triggers. Those are things that can happen. We can even get Valkat Slayers by playing Saga into Sanctuary, floating a white. So... No blocks. We'll just take 8 here. For the record, I do think that Black-Red Scam is a difficult matchup, though, so... Yep, so let's enact the plan here. Gotta wait for the trigger to resolve, of course. Again, I'm starting to feel like perhaps the only way we lose here is Blood Moon, but I don't know that I'm playing around it. I'll have to decide that in the short future here. We have Bounce in hand, so I'm totally fine just picking up... Maybe we pick up Saga to play around Blood Moon, and we, like, get... I mean, I guess if they don't kill Dryad, they're just dead here to Valkat triggers, right? Yeah, let's pick up the Garenbrig. We could Cultivator here. I don't think I'm about Cultivator, which is part of the reason why I don't love Cultivator in this deck, is because, like, I think it's just clearly better to go for Titan here, so, like, there's only very few, like, corner cases where Cultivator is, like, the thing to do. So we'll get Valakut and Slayers, if I can find it. Bang. I'm attacking with Dryad too. Can't stop me. And I think our opponent's just like hyper super dead here. I'm trying to think if it makes sense to get anything other than double Valakut here, just in case they've been sandbagging a way to kill this Dryad. I don't think there's anything they can really do here. Honestly, just getting double Forest and like having nah. I think I'm just going for the lethal here, to be completely honest. They can kill Dryad if they want. They would have to have, I mean, I don't know what they could even have. Dismember or something, I guess. They don't have Unholy Heat, so upstairs. See, guys, Amulet Titan is just easy. It's all free, just always win. Don't worry about it. Fatal Push? No, they don't have Revolt. Unless we killed one of their creatures and got greedy here, F-Paula style. Which I admittedly appreciate, but yeah, I don't like to point things at creatures if I don't have to. Just get them dead. Lethal on the stack, you know? Opponent says, good game, I guess. Lordy law. I wonder if there's a way, like, I could show this to you guys, I think. Yep, just like that. So, we stole game 1 against Black-Red, which is probably very good for us, considering we're going to be facing down Maguses and Blood Moons. So the very first thing is that these guys come in immediately. I think Kura is probably good here. Explosives to hit Ragavans and DRCs seems not good. Endurance is interesting. They could have, like, Kroxa. They could have Kroxa, so Endurance or Relic makes some sense, like DRC Kroxa type stuff, but if they're just all in on the Elementals plan, then these cards don't make a whole lot of sense. I think having, I was going to say having Relic to grab off of a Saga to cycle could be good, but I actually think we're supposed to be trimming Sagas in this matchup, so, you know, we'll just get those out of here. They could potentially have, like, Douthie Voidwalker. I don't know if that makes us want explosives, but I think Endurance is defensible. We can definitely trim Cavern. I think I'm not trimming Bog in case they have Kroxa or DRC. We need Grazers for Ragavan. They could have Necromentia, so keeping Cultivator in for the same reason as we did against the Yawgmoth deck makes sense. Yeah, I think it's more likely that Explosives is just going to be a dead draw, so we'll just run it like this. And if we do see Graveyard stuff, we'll bring in Endurance, but if we see Blood Moon specifically, then we'll bring in Force, but otherwise, Force is a dead card, so honestly, they'll just Thoughtseize it out of our hand anyways and still kill us with Blood Moon, so yeah, this hand's kind of trash. I mean, we got threats for days, but we don't have nearly enough lands, so we're just gonna mulligan. Well, I mean, this hand just dies to Ragavan. Like most Amulet hands that don't have Grazer, but if we top deck a 3-drop, we can play it on turn 2, assuming we don't get Thoughtseize here. This hand is actually kind of funny against their discard plan if they have Grief, for example. I mean, maybe it's a little greedy. I'm tempted to keep this. We have double basic to play around Moon effects too. We might just not draw anything and die, but you know what? I'm gonna risk it. Garenbrig is basically 2 lands here. I kind of hate it, but I think we're supposed to send back Bog. We don't even know if it does anything against them, so if they have Kroxa, then I guess they got us. Probably leading on Misty here to fetch immediately. Let's see them. I was gonna say Grief plus Malakir Rebirth, but no. Another bounce land is not what we were hoping for, so let's just go ahead and fetch out our Forest. Thin for the 0.3% or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna need to draw some actual spells, but now we'd like to see them actively Thoughtseize us and stuff, so. Which, of course, this is gonna be the draw that they have no discard, right? They hit a Titan. Classic Ragavan interaction right there. Hey, we drew the 3-drop. That's perfect. I no longer have any right to complain. We'll play Dryad and Castle here, so if we top deck Titan and lose our Dryad, then we can just, like, cast it. Making use of the second bounce land that I thought was going to be redundant. Exactly. Whew! Wait, what is happening? I swear I did not pay these people to concede to me. Like, I'm so confused. They just... I can block, I guess. This is crazy. Okay, well, do you guys have any possible explanation for that? Because I'm so confused what just happened. Jump in here for match 3, I guess. Salt Lake City. They were just, like, so salty that I had turn 2 Dryad to stonewall their Ragavan, huh? Is that what it is? Dude, if they actually salted out about a turn 2 Dryad, that's kind of problematic. Like, you know, I feel like the whole deck is designed to play turn 2 Dryads. Whether it's a turn 1 Amulet or turn 2 Grazer, like, that's the whole point, right? On the play again, too. This is quite possibly the luckiest league I've ever played. I mean, we're snap keeping this one, so yeah. Our Crumbling Vestige will be our multiple mana source and our second green source at the same time. They mold a 6. I don't deserve all this, but, you know, I'll take it. And before Thoughtseize to take away our 1 threat, and then we never top deck a threat. Yes! Yes! Yes, it's a burn gamer! We got him! It's over! Oh, second force, too. I'm in love. Now we just need... A bounce land would let us actually cast Titan this upcoming turn. Grazer would let us cast Titan as well. Probably not Azusa, though. Hey, let's go. Eidolon. Oh no! How are we ever going to beat Eidolon of the Great Revel? Just play a Titan and kill them on turn 4 at the very worst? Well, hold on. Let me actually double check the math, because this is too good to be true. So we play Grazer, we put in Vestige, float 2 colorless and a green. That's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just have it here. Oh no, we're taking 2 damage. I'm going to throw out another to be fair here and say I did say we could top deck Grazer. I'm going to hit 5 just in case I did the bad thing and yielded the Amulet, because I am one of those freaks that likes to yield the Amulet when I can, so call me lazy or call me genius. Probably it's just a lazy, but... And opponent is actually dead on board as it stands, so that's cool, I guess. You guys in the chat, you know how to do this? You know what the line is? I don't want to waste our opponent's time. The chat has not caught up for me, but in case you did not know, the line is Slayer Stronghold, Boros Garrison, and then we're going to Vesuva the Boros and get Sunhome, and that's lethal to their face, so... Casual double haste here. Pick up Crumbling Vestige for value. Not click through our combat phase accidentally. Get Vesuva and Sunhome. And we win. Just like that. It's so easy. Another turn 3 win here. And against Burn, I guess we just hit submit. No, I'm kidding. We want Boseijus over Caverns because they help us with Castle Garenbrig, and because they potentially kill Blood Moons or Eidolons. More likely Eidolons. They almost never play Blood Moon, but, you know. Cultivator is not great here. Yeah, I think probably a Singleton Endurance is better than Cultivator just for stonewalling their creatures. I think it's unlikely Cultivator is ever going to be an actual threat. I do actually like Engineered Explosives, though, against them, in case they lead on, like, triple 1-drop, which has been known to happen, so... We can trim Explorers against Eidolon. Is it better to have Explorer or Endurance? I think possibly Explorer, actually, just to try to find us our extra threat. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to go with the third Explorer over the Endurance, but Oh, wait, we still have Bog in here. Oops. You know what? It's okay. It happens to all of us. This hand does not have a 1-drop, so I'm pretty strongly inclined to mulligan it. I mean, okay, I lied. It does have a 1-drop, but it's not a 1-drop that ramps us. So, like, we have Titan mana. We are only playing Dryad on turn 3. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this. Look for something better. Yeah, this hand's not significantly better. And it also doesn't have Dryad anymore. They mulligan to 6. No, they mulligan to 5. You know what? I'm gonna look for a banger hand. There we go. That's a banger hand if I have ever seen one. So we'll definitely keep this. Bottom redundant, Talari West. And I think it's actually just both TUS. Theoretically, we could transmute TUS for a bounce land or something, but exactly. Hello there, O3. This is all I want in the burn matchup right here, is this little crazy boy right there. Lead on Goblin Guide, please, and thank you. Lava Spike. Actually, not having a creature here, I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like it's good for us, but I also feel like it's simultaneously bad for us, and now we get to Grazer out of Saga, so that just happened. You can't keep getting away with it. Another bounce land. I mean, it exists. We could explore here, or we could just get Saga value. I actually think I'm more inclined to explore here. It's better for us to ramp and find a Titan than it is to make a single 1/1 or soon to be 3/3 token. Like, we're not going to win the game with this Saga, and we have a Grazer to block, so, like, I'm just going to go straight for the explore here and leave up green to represent Nature's Claim. Yep, we'll pick up the forest. Actually, maybe we're supposed to pick up Boseiju here to play around Moon. I'm going to pick up Boseiju. We represented green, and then we didn't. No swings from the Grazer. Absolutely not. Burn Gaming hasn't been too strong these days, huh? I thought it was supposed to be good against 4-color, which I guess is, like, non-existent now, but I don't know if I believe that. They tapped, and then they didn't. Well, we can use this turn to transmute T-West, and then next turn just Titan them. Seems decent. We can float blue, get Amulet, play Growth Chamber, pick up Forest, and make a token and T-West here, if I'm not mistaken. We use these two, tap Saga, 3, yeah, that works. Of course, we're getting Amulet here off of Saga. What do you take me for? This is why you play your blue sources out before non-blue sources. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we had a Selesnya Sanctuary, get it out of here. And then we have just Titan next turn, so might want to be wary about Deflecting Palm at this point. I feel like it's the only... That and Path to Exile are the only things to really care about here, and I think Deflecting Palm is by far the scariest. My spidey senses are tingling. If they kept a no-creature hand and no turn 2 Eidolon, they're gonna Boros Charm us here. No Boros Charm, huh? Dude, we just gained 3 life from our Urza Saga. That's so sick. And a tap land. Our opponent is having trouble, I swear. This is 100% Deflecting Palm. You can't tell me it's not. Absolutely 100% Deflecting Palm. And we have Cultivator Claw. Do we still have Cultivator? And oh, I almost hit Concede Game. That would have been tragic. Did we board out Colossus or not? We did board out Colossus. Colossus actually would have played around both Path and Deflecting Palm here. We don't even have to attack with Titan, I guess. We can always just, like, cast Titan, like, Summoner's Pact for Titan, cast it. We can put a Crazy Boy into play for free here as well. I think I'm just gonna put a Titan into play and not attack with it, actually. Use the Titan to transmute. Urza Saga's like Radiant Fountain, but better. True. Just facts. It's just the truth. Yeah, our opponent is gonna sadly stare at their Deflecting Palm and be like, what am I supposed to do with this now? I guess they could get us with Blood Moon here. If our opponent has land Blood Moon, then great for them. I hope they get to live their life as happily as that turn will be. But, yeah, I'm definitely playing around Deflecting Palm and just setting up Talari West here. Assuming we have one. Oh, that's right. somebody intelligently bottomed the Tolaria West when we kept our opening hand, so we definitely have Tolaria West in deck. Yep. We're losing to Blood Moon here, but, yeah. I think that's probably about the only thing we're losing to at this point. Get a Summoner's Pact. I guess we could lose to a very unfortunate misclick. That is a possible thing to lose to. Boros Charm. Yep. The Prophet, they call me. Nobody calls me that. Let's not lose the game. We didn't get Blood Moon, by the way, so that's good. Explosives. Are we going for Dryad lethal here? I mean, it's not even lethal. Actually, they Deflecting Palm this, and then we just kill them with 2 land drops post-combat. Yeah, I think we're going for Dryad lethal here. This phase the league is over before I finish my cold one. Look, I promised, and I'm delivering, you know? This is the kind of top-tier content you expect from the world's best Amulet Titan streamer, you know what I mean? That's me, by the way, in case you weren't sure. Look at this Deflecting Palm our opponent has. Just look at it. Are we actually doing lethal here? I think we only have 18 points of damage if they Deflecting Palm this. I think we're putting our opponent to 1. Like, if they Deflecting Palm is down to 6, they could, like, double bolt or have, like, Skullcrack plus bolt plus land this upcoming turn. I mean, we're kind of in it, but... Oh, no, we have 2 land drops. What am I doing? I'm tripping. They Deflecting Palm this, and then we just landline killed them, like I had said before, and then second guessed. For some reason, I felt like we had played a land drop out already, but that is just patently false. I was very tempted to just play a forest out of habit or something, and then I was like, why would I do that? And I just went for Dryad. I know what it was. At the start of the turn, I thought that we would only have 1 untapped Simic, and I thought we had to play land out to get the Dryad into play, but that's just not the case, so... Hey! Look who called it! Look who called it! See, that's just top-tier Titan gameplay right there. Last thing to not do is skip through second main phase here. That is the only way we could lose this game, is if we just gave it to our opponent for free. And they're dead. Boom. Look at that. We beat Deflecting Palm. I mean, obviously it was pretty telegraphed, but, you know. Should have played explosives for value. Yep. So that means that we are now... God, sorry guys, I gotta take a second to change this, you know. 3-0. Hopping in here for match 4, just like cruising along with the 3-0, 6-0. Something's gonna go off the rail, you know. The wheel's about to fall off the car. I have the sense, like, this is too perfect and it can't be allowed to continue this way. By the way, whenever I'm looking over here like that, that's me looking at the chat, in case you were wondering. That's why I keep not looking right at you guys, you know. Alright, on the play again. Actually luckiest league I've ever played. No joke, actually luckiest league. Well, on the play, we could play a turn 3 Azusa, but you know how I feel about the turn 3 only play. Yep, see, this hand's infinitely better. Boros Garrison's giving us Titan mana with this hand. Second Dryad is ensuring us from a discard or kill spell. But Cavern is helping us play against the control gamer that our opponent is not, because they're playing Gigantha. So, I guess we could bottom Cavern and hope to spike a land off the top and have an extra Dryad in case of them killing the Dryad that we play. I mean, we can definitely top deck threat plus a land, right? Right? Yeah, we'll just, you know, we'll top deck it. We already have been all day, so. Also, I completely forgot that a long time ago I set up this MTG bot message to play. So, I mean, I still endorse the message. I think it's perfectly written, but max value, you know? I don't know if this if the chat's updating on the side here, because on OBS it doesn't look like it is, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I wonder if I refresh it or something, if it'll fix. Oh, don't worry about it. Doesn't. Now it does. I'm confused. I guess I just have to have this open, maybe? I don't know. Huh. You know what? It's okay. First time streaming issues, you know? Man, that's so awkward. I've been looking over here, looking at the chat, and the chat's been not moving, and y'all have been so confused. I mean, I know you can tell that I actually read your message because I'm responding to it, but I mean, that just makes me look... I don't know how that makes me look. Honestly, it's kind of hilarious, but... Basic Mountain. Dragon's Rage Chandler. Mistress Bobble. Light up the stage. Now that is max value right there. Turn 2 Dryad. Name of the game. Ooh. Oh. No, I can't. I cannot. It would be against every fiber of my being not to play the turn 2 Dryad. I'm sorry, chat. I failed you. You know what's funny is, I actually can't see how many people are viewing the stream on my screen over here. I'd have to actually, like, pull it up and look at it, but I don't think I want to know. Because if it was more than I thought it was, I think it would freak me out. So I'm just gonna, like, pretend like that information doesn't matter, you know? Manamorphose. I'll block you. Also, this is not one of the prowess creatures, so, like, this is, I think, way better for us than them having led on, like, Swift Spear or something. Dude, 4 cards exact Delirium. Our opponent's having the same type of league that we're having. We ordered from the same restaurant. Oh, speak of the Prowess Devil. Although this one can't attack, so slightly better, but also slightly worse, because they can shrink our Dryad, which is just rude if you ask me. I'm surprised I have not made an obvious error. Okay, hold on. To be fair, I did pick up a bounce land in the very first game that I probably shouldn't have, but I don't know if that was a thing about me streaming or... You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm not helping my own case. We'll explore here to find the land drop. Or threat, I'll take that too. And we'll explore here to find the land drop. Bang. Yep, and we'll just play the old pass game. Take another 3 here, block this. Titan kill them. Seems good. What a draw. Actually, I think you mean what a series of 3 draws, because we did draw 3 cards that turn, so. See, this is why, imagine if this was, I guess Soccer Tri-Belter would have been pretty good here too, but, I mean, it wouldn't have helped us find the land and the threat at the same time. It would have just given us the land, so, I don't know. I still, I'm an Explorer fan over Tri-Belter. What is this? Electrostatic Infantry. 2 mana, 1/2 Trampler gets a plus counter instead of, like, Prowess. I mean, to be fair, that's pretty good, but we're gonna block this for the worst case scenario. And then we're gonna Titan them and they're gonna be dead. I guess they could have Unholy Heat here. Lava Dart. Well, I guess they can't have Unholy Heat here. Didn't know we played Booster Draft. Oh, are you talking about this card? I don't know. I think this card's pretty sick, actually. Trample. Yeah, our opponent is dead, though, so that's happening. Cool card, though. Definitely not better than Kiln Fiend, in my opinion, but I don't know. We missed the chance to Cultivator for zero value. Best card in Amulet, Cultivator Colossus, you know? Yes, I would like to search. Thank you very much. We'll get a couple Val Cuts and throw some Lightning Bolts at our opponent's face and see how they like it. Wait. 12. We're short of killing them here, believe it or not. I wonder if Vesuva Valcut would have actually been straight lethal here. Well, I guess now we have to kill their creatures, right? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess we're going to Creature Town. No! What just happened? That's the worst. Ugh. I had right-clicked and hit always auto-target or something like that. Dang, that's really annoying. It's okay, it's okay. We'll just say yes and yield. We still have another land drop to kill their other two creatures, so it doesn't actually matter. Chill, chill, chill. It's all good. I hit 5. We're not auto-targeting Dragon's Rage Chandler anymore, but I hit 5 like 5 times again just right now to make certain that we're keeping their board clear, because, you know, that never happened. Don't worry about it. It didn't happen. Oh, Lava Dart. I guess they could save the thing. Well, I had lethal, and now I don't, so. Actually, I don't think I ever had lethal. Did I ever have lethal? No, we were only doing 18 damage there with 1 land drop. I guess Valakut Vesuva, we do 2 triggers, play Bounce Land, it's 3 triggers, play second Valakut, that's 5 triggers. Still only 15. Wait. No, we play 1, 2, I think it's 6 triggers anyways. Oh, they're putting minus counters on our Primeval Titan. Oh no. We'll make a red mana. I think we probably cannot afford to attack with the Dryad here, so at least we're Blood Moon proof. That's cool. Straight to YouTube, guys. I'm not editing any of that out, you know. You can see exactly what kind of dumb mistakes that I make. I have misclick from hell. Honestly, I've had worse misclicks. I think we have to block this just in case we're dead. I feel like we do this, pay for pack, play second Dryad, and we're good. They only have 1 land. So it's more likely to have like double bolt, like land double bolt to kill Dryad or Titan or something. Definitely not blocking with Titan, so they can't just like cast a lightning bolt and kill it. I think we're good to block like this. Yeah. I mean, it would be pretty difficult for them to kill us. And like losing the Dryad is not ideal. If they can kill the second Dryad, then we're actually in a little bit of trouble. But like if they bolt, they don't have a Lava Dart to flashback. So if they like dart, flashback, dart, play land, bolt, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're still not even dead in that scenario. I guess they could have like mutagenic growth or something. I think we just have to block. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, them getting to keep this card in play. Are we about to lose to this draft common or whatever? Draft uncommon? Now, let's be real. If we're losing to my misplay. So, I'm going to take ownership of that. Light up the stage, okay? That's probably not good enough. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think that's good enough. They have the second land. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Okay, now they're actually dead. Actually dead, false alarm, you know, crisis averted, all that stuff. Put this into play. Go to combat. Attack. Whew. Sigh of relief. This time we will get the Vesuva, but it's not really necessary. And we'll get basic forest to play around Blood Moon. There we go. Oh, we're 1 short. Oh no. Oh no. We can't even do all 6 damage. What's gonna happen? Underworld Breach is pretty cool. I didn't notice that one at first. Lucky to win game 1 in this matchup as well, because it's yet another Blood Moon matchup, and I think it's probably actually pretty difficult for us to win against this. So, turn 1 Grazer, absolutely the best thing we can be doing in this matchup. They have Underworld Breach and DRC, so we're definitely bringing in these endurances. I like Dismember, because it's going to cost us way more than 4 life if they get a creature online. Going to bring in Bosejus for potential Blood Moons. Also, Dismember would hit Magus. Explosives against them is a little slow, but probably still good. Cultivator is uncastable through Blood Moon. Relic is actually kind of interesting here. I mean, they're an aggressive deck, so me playing Relic and them just, like, killing us doesn't sound that great, but it does help against Breach? I guess we could have gotten Bog with our Titan Tax Trigger. What a punt. Yeah, Explorer, not great here. Saga's bad against Blood Moon, but, I mean, we kind of need to race. I mean, they're going to have, like, at least 4 moon effects, right? They have to. Probably Magus, and we're going to be sad, but do we want Kuda? I feel like it's too slow. I feel like it's not quite there. Oh, we definitely don't want Caverns, though. If we can swap those out for something. Although, I guess if we're cutting Sagas, we kind of need the extra lands, so never mind, False Alarm. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just going to hit submit. Okay. Now we're going to lose because we're on the draw. It's okay, it's just the natural order. We get to play double basic forest. The Vesuva, if we get it in underneath Blood Moon, copying a forest, it'll stay a forest. So we get explosives to blow on turn 2 here, pretty much regardless of what they do, most likely. I guess, actually, with Vesuva, that's not going to happen, right? The turn 3 popped explosives, which is probably fine against DRC, so we'll do this. Guess we'll just go ahead and play out the explosives. Cancel. Depends on how we're planning this out, because if we go turn 2 Vesuva, turn 3 untap land, play explosives, also pop it, that hides the fact that they shouldn't be playing more 1-drops into it. It also means that we can't pivot and play Dryad if we wanted to. And we'd have to expend our untapped land drop, which may or may not matter. Because, like, if we played Vesuva here, if we played Vesuva turn 2 and already had explosives in play, then on turn 3 we could pop it and play a bounce land and get tap land out of the way. But I guess that's also really bad against... Oh, wait, that's really bad against Moon, so... I did not pass through the turn. I am going to play the explosives here. It's okay, it's the first stream. It's going to be a little scuffed. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's right. Our opponent has a Gigantha that totally exists and that will be very relevant. Just in case you forgot, you know. Clearly, I'm aware of these things, but second main phase, we will play explosives on 1. Let's get it out the way. Do not hit done before you click the color, by the way, because it is possible to play explosives on 0, and you don't want to do that. I mean, I guess sometimes you do, but in this case, no. There's always the tech of floating a colorless mana and playing explosives on 1 using the colorless, but with 0 colors, so you can kill a Chalice on 0 without the explosives just getting auto-countered to its own ability, or to the Chalice's ability, so... It's the secret hidden ways tech. By the way, I know that Tormund said earlier it's 1:30 in the morning for you. I am so sorry. It's currently 8:20 in the afternoon, or I guess that would be 2020, and the 24-hour clock. Just go ahead and play another 1-drop. You know you want to, opponent. Manamorphose. They're on their way to setting up Delirium. They have instant land artifact at the moment. So if they mill over a creature with DRC or something, we're getting clocked for 3. I'm wondering how possible it is that we are forced to play Cavern and pop explosives here. It doesn't seem that impossible. We are getting hit for 3. What was the extra card type? Instant land. Oh, light up the stage is a sorcery. I didn't notice that. Oh, hold on. Misclick. Don't worry about it. Crumbling Vestige means that we are now free to play Cavern on Giant to fix for double green because value. And hold up the explosives pop, and the next turn we'll still be able to play Dryad, so I guess this plays worse around Blood Moon, but I don't know. Is it better to play around Blood Moon or to guarantee that we are getting the 3 points of damage not taken straight to the dome? Maybe playing around Blood Moon is better, although we can always play Dryad after their Blood Moon resolves and unlock our mana again, so I don't know. If we are popping explosives, are we doing it now or waiting until they're in step so they can't play more 1-drop? That is the question. I think I'm just doing it now. If they want to play more 1-drops, that's fine. Definitely a questionable choice, but the whole point of doing the explosives thing now was to not take the 3 damage, so they buy Gigantha. You know what? Our opponent heard me chiding about how the Gigantha would not find relevancy in this game, and they're like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Now, the real question is, they didn't play a Blood Moon here. Are we supposed to play Vesuva copy the forest anyways, just to play around it? Now that we've got our Dryad in play? If we play Bounce Land, we have Titan this upcoming turn by playing Vesuva copy nothing and tapping it for mana with the Dryad. But we also just get auto-destroyed by Blood Moon, which I think they would have to top deck here, or like Magus. Copy forest sounds good. I don't know that we have Titan next turn, though. You know what? I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to play it safe. We're at a healthy 17. We can take 1 turn off to make sure we're not losing a Blood Moon. If our opponent plays Magus or Blood Moon here, I owe this game to you. They did buy Gigantha. To me, that might imply... Actually, honestly, I don't really know what that implies. Because, like, what would their hand have to be for them to buy Gigantha? If it's not just slamming a Blood Moon or, like, playing creatures out. Like, what do they have? Just burn spells? Underworld Breach, I guess? They could have, like, some multiple copies of Breach. Or, like, just, like, a ton of lands, like 6 lands. I really don't know. Like, I can't imagine what could possibly happen to have them buy Gigantha in that turn. I really am at a loss. I'm kind of... Maybe playing the Vesuva out copying the forest is, like, playing absolute scared, but, like, well, there's a Breach. So I guess they're casting free Baubles, Manamorphose, DRC. Oh, they're using this to buy back a threat. Okay, that makes sense. Lava Dart. Oh, no. I'm also confused. They'd have to have 3 DRCs in play for them to go infinite with Mishra's Bauble, Underworld Breach, and DRC, so... like, I don't know. Oh, we got a Bauble. Okay. Oh, there's another DRC. They're close to the combo, guys. They're close. We're getting bobbled. I feel so invaded. They have another threat. Okay. I will block you. I'll block. Get your mutagenic growths out of here. I guess that they could have mutagenic growth. Definitely not casting Summoner's Pact. That's a fact. Our blue source in play. Pick up the Vestige, I guess. Not picking up this one. That's what we're not doing, I tell you. I think we're supposed to play Vestige here so that if they do have Blood Moon, we can still just play Land Titan. If we played Bounce Land, we'd be down to 4 lands. I guess we could still play Land Titan, but I mean, I don't know. Probably doesn't matter. I guess in the case that it doesn't matter, holding the Bounce Land in hand is probably better. So we have repeated Valakut triggers. I mean, let's be honest, we have 3 threats, so it actually doesn't matter at all. I'm gonna play the Vestige out. We'll make a red mana. Yep. I guess we could technically pack for Endurance here if we needed to. Assuming that we brought it in, which I think I did. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a distracted nut when I'm streaming, apparently, so... Pretty sure we brought it in. I literally pulled up the sideboard to look, and then I did not look. I saw Explorers, I was like, oh yeah, we boarded out 4 Explorers, and that's all I saw. Yeah, we definitely have Endurance, so we can pack for that if we want to. And still not lose the Blood Moon. Oh, Bolt? I mean, it's not impossible that packing for Endurance could be relevant here, depending on how much damage they're presenting. Oh, they bolt without casting anything else, so that if we block, we lose the Dryad. Like, they would have to have, if they had, like, literally triple bolt, we'd be taking 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like, triple bolt would be lethal. Single lava dart plus bolt would be math. Would be 9, and then the lava dart is another 2, and then another 2. That'd be 11, 13. I don't know. They'd have to have like a bunch of spells they can cast here for us to be dead if we don't block. It's not impossible. They could like go Manamorphose into a couple instances, and that would be pretty bad too, or like Mutagenic Growth. Kind of feel like we're pricing the blocking here, actually. I think I'm blocking. We're not gonna Valakut trigger our opponent. Sad but true. I guess we could potentially pack for Grazer. Yeah, we'll do this. Packing for Grazer to have an additional chump blocker might be important, so yeah. Apparently bolting the Dryad was just a pretty good heads-up play. We have 6, so we can play. We could pack for Grazer, play Grazer, Sanctuary, pick up Forest, play Forest, and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So packing for Grazer is free here, although it means we can't pack for Dryad later. Also, drawing the Bajuka Bog is just absolutely insulting, because I was actually going to search for that with the Titan trigger, so we don't have Radiant Fountain in this list, because I don't really think it's worth it to play Radiant Fountain, but it actually would be good here. I mean, I think we're still supposed to pack for Grazer. Let me make sure. So we do this, put this in, play Forest for turn. Yeah, we're just not going to be able to interact with their graveyard, but that's probably fine. We'll get a Grazer into play, just so we don't have to block and lose our Titan if at all possible. Definitely playing the Grazer before making land drop, as the Grazer forces the land to enter tap, so we can't play Sanctuary and then Grazer. I guess we could Grazer and Vestige, for example, but this is, I get, if our Vestige was literally any other untapped land source, we would have to do it in this exact order, so. And worth noting, we're not losing to Blood Moon by packing here, because we already have double basic in play. Although, to be honest, I might just be searching for more basics. Could also be T-West bounce land to set up a Dryad. Boseiju bounce land doesn't not make sense. I think I just want to kind of set up for the kill here, though. So I think it's T-West bounce land. Yeah, let's just go with this. They would have to have Pillage and Blood Moon or something. So, yeah, we'll do this. I don't know if we have enough mana to play Dryad this upcoming turn. I guess we pay 4 for Pact. We have exactly 6. So, yeah, we can transmute, Pact, play Dryad, and attack, and they could be potentially dead. So, there's that. How's it going, Sunny Star? I don't have the deck set up. I don't know how to do that yet. This is my first ever stream, so you're probably about to see it pretty quickly. I can show it to you very soon. Packing with the channeler. Like, do we not block here? Like, I feel like this is just fine. I'd rather not take the damage if at all possible. Just give them the fewest possible outs. They have Magus. Well, I mean, we're not losing the game. I guess we don't want to tap our bounce lands in case we were top deck exactly Dismember. Yes. I was trying to think. We would have to play land and then Dismember. Are we even attacking here? I feel like we can't. Have to keep this guy up the block. And we can play. So we play land here. We play Dryad into Titan this upcoming turn. Even if we lose our Titan, it's probably fine. It's worth noting we could actually transmute for... Oh, wait. We already used explosives. I think there's a second explosives. We could transmute for second explosives and potentially be able to pull up mages down the line. I think I'm just passing. What's good, Stad Taffa? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. I apologize. Stad Taffa. That's my best guess. Also, it's obviously very exaggerated, so alright, we'll take our 3 in the air. Maybe we're supposed to attack there. Maybe we're just, like, too slow here. I don't know. Gigantha. It came into play. Well, we'll play Dryad and Titan. And then I guess we're attacking now. It's just taps for mana, right? It's just a 5/5. It's just a 5/5. We'll play Bog and keep 2S in hand. Second Titan. We can transmute for something. Guess we're just getting basic lands here. Does value. That lets us transmute and cast explosives on 3 and probably pop it also, so... So the reason why we can transmute here is because the Dryad is letting our basic lands tap for all colors, despite the fact that there's a Magus in play. Does that mean we're supposed to not attack again just to be max safe? I mean, we're going to win next turn with explosives anyways. Let me check the deck list to make sure there actually is a second explosives before I make a huge mistake. Yeah, there is a second explosives. I mean, I feel like the safest thing to do is just not attack, to be honest. Like, I really don't see a reason to attack here. They'd have to have exactly, like, quadruple bolt or something. Or, like, lava dart triple bolt for us to be dead here. I guess we're taking some amount of damage, but... Honestly, attacking with Titan is not helping us, even if they do have what it takes to kill us here anyways, so... They start with a bolt. I think waiting is a good choice. Light up the stage is pretty decent on their side. They have an extra mana here. They can tap this one. They have actually a ton of extra mana. Although only 1 red mana. I guess technically the green allows them to use the non-red mana to filter through Manamorphose. But like, honestly, the red mana is probably the bottleneck right now. Looking like keeping Titans back to block and not attacking with this one was a very good choice. Definitely feeling that way to me. We're at 4. Oh, we're dead in the air. Cool. Cool beans. Well, we'll go to game 3, I guess. That Magus bought them just enough time, huh? They have Magus, not Blood Moon, so Force is probably not the move. EE on 3 lets us kill the Magus and then attack and get Valcuts and kill them that way. Do we want Bog or not? I feel like we haven't seen Unholy Heat. Bog only really interacts with their DRCs, and I guess the Lava Darts. I don't know if that's good enough. Maybe it's good enough. It's also kind of a dead draw, but like, I guess what would we bring in instead of it? With Dryad dead. Oh, that's right. The EE kills the Dryad. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Good catch. I'm just running it. You're absolutely right. I didn't think about that at all. Be on the play. To Kurt. What does that mean? All right, this hand's great. We'll keep it. Please no Blood Moon, thank you. I think we're just leaning on Grazer into Valakut as well. Just to block their haste threat immediately. Kura, yeah. I don't know, I feel like Kura's just not playing the right game though. If we play Amulet, then turn 2, we have 3, 4, 5. If we draw exactly another Grazer or Azusa, that means we can Titan on turn 2 if we lead on Amulet here. But, I mean, we have 3 Grazers, 4 packs, 1 Azusa. We'd have to double pack for that. I don't know. I think it's not worth it. I'm just leading on Grazer every time here, I think. Oh, no, I know you're not trying to be nitpicky. It's okay. Streamers miss things. I'm not even... This is only my first stream anyway, so it doesn't actually... Look, I don't have any credentials here, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. It's okay. Everybody misses stuff. And we're absolutely blocking through this mutagenic growth. Growth me. I'm ready. Yep, there we go. 3-drop. That's not a 3-drop, but we still have Titan next turn, so I'm cool with it. Amulet. Hope they don't Shattering Spree us, and, yeah, I don't know. to elaborate on the Kura thing, like 5 mana to make a 5/5 that doesn't really do anything. First of all, if we get to 5 mana, we're already doing pretty good. We'd rather just hit 6 mana and play a Titan. So drawing Kura instead of a Titan or Summoner's Pact, like let's say we were to board those out, which obviously doesn't make any sense, but like just to, like, is there any moment where you can play Kura that you wouldn't rather just play Titan, right? Like playing a Kura is like, I mean, you could honestly still die with a Kura in play, and dude, why do I have to be right? I should just not say things. I just shouldn't say anything. Well, I said always yield and it didn't. Dismember's actually not bad here. I think we're probably saving it for Mages, though. We could pack for Dryad, and then it, like, cause them to tap out for Mages if they have it, and then dismember it and pay. Because we're not casting Titan this upcoming turn anyways. I guess we could play Simic, pick up Cavern, and top deck exactly Garenbrig and cast Titan, but... I mean, are we supposed to pack for Dryad here? That's the question. Play land, pack for Dryad, play Dismember. I guess that loses to Pillage. I think I'm packing for Dryad. Play the land out first, because correctness. Play Dryad. Get our immediate land drop, and hold up this Dismember for the Mages that our opponent's about to play land and cast. Oh, please no Blood Moon, though. Oh my gosh, we're just straight up losing to Blood Moon. But we saw Mages last time. What's the chances that they Mages us in game 2 and they have Blood Moon on turn 3 instead in game 3? No way, right? I mean, if they choose to use this turn to Mages, they're just, like, giving up on these 2 cards of value. So, like, we're really laying a trap here. They're probably looking at their Mages in hand without the land and being like, dang, I wish I could cast this. I just win the game immediately. Little did they know. Alright, opponent. We might honestly just be blocking with this Dryad, by the way. It's not impossible. Or I guess they could have any second burn spell or like Lava Dart and their bolt plus killing our Dryad. But, you know, it's not like we were casting Titan this upcoming turn anyway, so like getting the extra land drop out. Like if we top deck a tap source here and get to play Titan on turn 4 because we packed it for Dryad, we'll be very, very happy. So also, I guess we don't necessarily have to block with Dryad because we can always dismember the Swift Spear if things get out of hand, so which I'm not opposed to doing, but only if they tap mana to do so. Are we blocking? I feel like we're not blocking, because the block plus bolt... I don't know. Maybe we are blocking and forcing them to tap out. Because, like, we might just be in the same situation next turn, right? Because we're paying for Pact. No blocks, do you think? I think it's close, actually. I kind of want to call their bluff and force them to cast spells. I mean, this is walking right into the bolt, but I'd rather the bolt hit the Dryad than me anyways, since we're probably just blocking next turn, right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just throwing away the Dryad is, like, not the move. It's actually kind of a tough call. I think we block, and if they do anything, we just get to dismember, so... yeah. Because if they tap even a single mana, then we're not losing to Mages, which means we can just do this. And we want to do it with the prowess trigger on the stack, so... I guess this loses if they Mages us next turn, like in the 1 turn window that we can't cast Titan, or like maybe if we don't draw land, then things go a little hairy, but... Yep, I think blocking to force them to bolt is probably the better move, but like I said, it's debatable for sure. They play DRC and pass. Guess it worked out. Unless they have... I guess they could have Gut Shot. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, they hit double land with their light up the stage. That's good news. I do know a little bit about good news, and that's definitely good news. And we drew the land. Sadly, we don't have 6 lands in play, but this is exactly the situation I was talking about where we're drawing in enter the battlefield tap land, and it's better for us to be able to do this. So, not attacking. Although, yeah, I mean, attacking doesn't do anything. We can't block anyways, but like, imagine if we took the damage there, and then they attack this turn with like another haste creature and like a couple of like bolts or something, and then we just lose because we didn't block last turn. Because that gives them a 2-turn window to cast a flurry of spells, and we could potentially lose to that. Yeah, we're not blocking this, so I don't know. It's hard for me to explain my thoughts. I'm a little distracted at the moment, but and I think we just win. So Titan? Question mark? Force them to kill the Dryad here, I think. Yeah, they do seem dead now. An astute observation, I would say. We'll copy Simic Growth Chamber because it's my favorite bounce land. And this time we're saving targets at them, not the DRC. I mean, what am I talking about? That never happened. Don't worry about it. We agreed not to discuss this, and then I brought it back up. And we win the match. Yo, guess what? That means that we are 4-0. 15 life more like dead. Exactly. Alright, we got one more match to play. Usually my FNMs are 3 or 4 matches, so this is already feeling a little longer than the typical FNM would be for me. Yep, seems good. I actually don't know the name of these emotes. What is this? Yeah, it seems good. Okay. Well, I totally guessed that one. That's just the vibe I got from it. Yep, trying to get this 5-0. Am I right mistaken? Now people have to net deck my list. Will it happen? Dude, I'm so bad at choking. I always go 4-1 when I'm in situations like this, so. Admittedly, we haven't made a whole lot of good use of Kura. Although, there were definitely matchups where, like, bring it in was a consideration, but. And if we play against Murktide as our last matchup and Kura wins us the game, then we can easily say that Kura won us the whole 5-0 league. So we haven't actually cast Kura in this league. Also, I think somebody wanted to see the list, so here it is. So we haven't cast Kura in the league, but I am generally pretty high on Kura. I think that it's good against blue-red, which is something that not a lot of cards can actually accomplish. Like, you can do that with Krasis. It can be quite good against blue-red Murktide, but it's also weak to Blood Moon effects, whereas Kura's a little bit better because we want to set up double green anyways. On the play again. Oh, this might be the one, guys. We get to Grazer in a Saga, so, I mean, this is the most obvious snap keep I've ever seen. Exactly, let's go 5-0. Come on, come on. Sad that we don't have an untapped land source to activate Saga onto, but that's okay, because we have Explore to just be an awesome card and fill the gaps and draw us the threat that we're missing, so. Still leaning on Saga here to try to get the Amulet into play as fast as possible, obviously. I guess if we draw an Amulet, we can play Amulet, like, Gruul Turf, Explore, Garrison, Activate, and still get Construct value. Stevens? Stevens? Is this Murktide? Is this the pivotal matchup? Tapped Stevens as well. What is that? Tapped Stevens. Alright, so let's just make some mana development progress here. We might even be getting Expedition map for Cavern Souls with the way that this game is shaping up. I wouldn't be surprised. Getting Green Source in play as well here, I think. Pick up Valakut, I guess? We have Titan next turn. Not attacking with Grazer for the meme. Yeah, I don't know what Tap Stevens would be. I guess it just has to be Murktide with no 1-drop play, which is strange. I guess it could be blue-white control, splashing Stevens and like a Triome for... Yeah, could be. Jeskai, perhaps. They don't have Counterspell up, so I think we're just good to go here. They could remand us. Like, if it's like a Jeskai Saheeli deck. Creativity is possible, but it seems weird to have Plains in Creativity. Although, when you sent that message, it probably wasn't in play, so... I mean, I'm going for it. You can't stop me from going for it here. Are we supposed to play Azusa and get blown out by Lightning Bolt first, just to get value? I feel like probably not. Yep, yeah, Plains seems odd, doesn't it? We'll leave the Garrison in place so we can haste, since we have second Titan lined up anyways. probably a line to play the Azusa into hasting here, but again, it probably plays into Bolt, so not really interested. I am not interested. Having awkwardly already drawn the Boros Garrison, even though we're still able to do the things we want to here, it's still annoying because we're not going to have double green unless we play out Forest next turn. Opponent concedes. So we know 2 cards from their entire 60-card deck. Okay. I think I'm making the read blue-white control, possibly Jeskai. Yeah, Fire and Ice. It's a good call. So, I mean, Kura just gets solituded all day, right? But I feel like having additional things they have to solitude is probably good. I also like Endurances against the control decks because if anything does go to the graveyard, like being countered or Supreme Verdicted, then Endurance shuffles itself and everything else back in. So it gives us infinite threats, so to speak, and also lets us recycle Expedition Map from Sagas. So I actually like Endurance here. Razor is real bad if our opponent is not playing creatures, but if they're playing Ragavan, for example, it's kind of annoying. I don't know. They just played nothing. I feel like I'm sideboarding against control deck and just going all in. And actually, I don't want Fog here. I didn't notice if they had a companion. If they have Kahira, that means no Snapcaster Mage. But I think probably trimming Bog just makes sense anyways. You don't want Garen Brig. We could have Relic, but I don't think it really matters. Bring in Boseijus in case they have, well, not Castle Garen Brig, in case they have Chalice, which can happen. 4th Pact is kind of redundant. I think probably the Endurance is better than the extra Pact because of possible Chalices and the fact that Pact just gets countered anyways, so Endurance is easier to fit on a curve that works for us. Yeah, I think I'm submitting it this way. And we get to see our first Kura of the league and explore my love of my life. Yeah, I also used to leave in 1 Grazer as a pack target, but like, just ever drawing Grazer is always bad. Definitely keeping this. Ever drawing Grazer is just always bad. Oof, we're getting a little bit gotcha'd by the legendary on Boseiju, by the way. What was I saying? Yeah, the Grazer. We can still pack for Azusa to get the same thing. And, like, they're not going to have probably... I guess they might still have Fire and Ice, which punishes Azusa, but other than that, like, there's really nothing that we're actually worried about as far as killing Azusa. Because, like, if they're killing Azusa, that means they're not interacting with one of our actual threats. And, like, just ever drawing a Grazer is bad, but, I don't know, maybe leaving in 1 Grazer is better. I don't know. What would you cut for it? Ending on the Amulet. I thought about playing around that, but the fact is we just have to do this anyways because we're playing Sanctuary on turn 2 regardless, unless we spike the untapped land and cast Explorer. Or another Amulet, I'll take that as well. But yeah, I didn't say it out loud, but I thought about not playing out the Amulet because of the Prismatic Ending possibility, but I came to the conclusion that it's not going to change our play at all if they get Prismatic Ending here, so probably just playing out the Boseiju here to make casting Endurance later a little bit easier. We can actually cast Kura on turn 3 thanks to the bounce land here. And our opponent is also not holding up Counterspell again. So any... Oh, where? Okay. Well, we're not able to make Amulet progress. I lied. We have the Amulets. I mean, we can just play land Amulet, and if they answer it, float 4, play Boseiju, sacrifice 1, play Kura. I mean, that seems like going down on resources for no reason. If we play Amulet here, then we could potentially play Titan next turn. I mean, I think we're supposed to play Amulet here. There's no reason not to expose the 3rd Amulet to the 3rd piece of hate, right? Also, I was just talking about having a +1 ramp spell, but literally boarded out all 4 Grazers, so that's just... Like, we could draw Titan or Azusa there and be able to pact and get Titan into play, but that just plays in Counterspell, so... I don't know. I will say, I'm glad this is not Creativity, because Creativity is not a good matchup for us, so... I mean, I guess it could technically still be... Yeah, exactly. We're probably still happy if they're just interacting with Amulet here. Any green source, or any untapped land, actually, for that matter, off the top, lets us play Kura. Make them Solitude the Kura, and then just get in with Titan. Seems good. Are we sacrificing Boseiju to play Kura instead of pacting? We could also just pact now, so that if they don't counter it, we can pay for it and, like, actually resolve pact. think probably just seeing what's up is better. Any land and we get to play Kura here, so well, any non-bounce land. I guess we're not playing Kura. There's a potential argument to flash an endurance here. Guess probably not. Another bounce land. I mean, we're definitely playing that, so we'll get that into play. It hasn't been much of an issue for us, but it's so annoying that they're both legendary. It just, like, it keeps psyching me out, you know? And I guess we're picking up Boseiju here. Yeah. It stops us from being able to Endurance on their Instep through Summoner's Pact, but honestly, if I'm casting Pact for Endurance, I think we're not doing so great, so hold this Pact for a better way. Get it into play. We still need Cavern Souls. That would be a nice one. Was there an extra cavern in the board and I didn't sideboard it in? No? I don't know. For some reason, I feel like we're playing fewer copies of Cavern Souls right now. I usually like 4 copies. I think this list might be on 3. Bounce land. I mean, anything we cast here is absolutely getting counterspelled. But, I mean, whether it's Counterspell or Archmage's Charm, I don't think I care that much. Especially since the thing that we're casting is, sorry to say it, but expendable. If they want to counter this, they can. If we play Growth Chamber, then that means that we can Boseiju a Chalice if they play it during their turn. Our opponent's reading, by the way. If you're wondering why they're pausing, it's because they don't know what this card does, and they're reading the wall of text. Mystic Gate. Ugh. What a card. What a card to be playing. Our opponent is really contemplating this Kura. If we get an Archmage's Charm for this Kura, I'll actually be very happy. Oh, Counterspell? Archmage's Charm? Oh, man. We just cost our opponent a divination, you know? Now, are we playing Bounce Land and holding up Boseiju for Chalice? Or are we just playing Boseiju and passing? Boseiju and pass is better if we are going for a Colossus, perhaps, but I think just playing out the Growth Chamber and playing it uber safe here is good. Although, I think we're honestly not at the stage where we're going to be casting Summoner's Pact anytime soon anyways, but it's like, up until we have insurance that our threat's going to actually resolve, like, actually casting this and committing to casting a threat is like, I don't know. Doesn't feel that great to me. We'll yield until instep. Teferi Time, a Raveler, bouncing Amulet. That feels pretty, I don't have anything to me. They could have second counterspell or dress down. Dude, if we packed up for Colossus and got dress down here, I would die. What's more likely? They have dress down or another counterspell? I mean, I guess Colossus is playing into both, whereas Titan is really only playing into counterspell, so guess we're playing Sunhome here and just keeping Boseiju in hand for the just in cases. Deploying Amulet seems fine. We'll Summoner's Pact and see if they have something to do about it. I guess playing the Sunhome before casting the Pact is bad because they might have to counter the Pact instead of the threat in case we had Cavern. So we might have not wasted a literal threat, but just a Summoner's Pact and not had to pay. But they have the counterspell or dress down. They have dress down. So good thing I did not go for the Colossus, huh? Yeah, Pact before land. Yeah. Yep, I noticed it a little too late. Didn't get punished, thankfully, but... And now they're just going to, like, untap Solitude or Titan and we're just going to lose, so... I mean, we're not really lost because we're playing Cultivator Colossus and Cavern Souls in our deck, so, like, unless they have more copies of Dress Down, you know? Slow typing brutal, yeah. Dude, I was just talking about that earlier. I absolutely hate the fact that there's so much delay when it comes to streaming. Like, when I'm a viewer of streams and like my question doesn't come in until like a minute later or whatever, dude, it gets me every time without fail. Tap the Titan. I mean, you do you, I guess. That's not killing Titan, so I'm okay with it. That's delaying the inevitable. The train that's running down the tracks at them, you know? Saga's good here. That's a threat. And a Cavern of Souls in disguise. And the likelihood that they're playing something like March of Otherworldly Light is very low, considering that Flash Enchantment is available. Which also means that holding on to these Besagers is probably a good play, because they have Leyline Binding. I keep forgetting that that is a card that exists, because I haven't yet played... I played one match against the Leyline Binding deck, so... Saga is a great deck. Exactly. Exactly. Teferi 5, huh? Yep. I mean... It's a way to do it. Alright, Colossus. I'll take it. That might as well be a Colossus. And there's no dress down this time. Patience, you know? Bang. Leave Saga up in case we somehow magically are able to activate Saga, which wouldn't be that... No, it would be pretty difficult, actually. We'd have to draw Amulet and happen to hit Crumbling Vestige. So, yeah. Resolving Cultivator is a huge game here. Like, absolutely insanely crazy huge. Put in a Besaju. Are we cycling the second Besaju to draw? Honestly, I think yes. We'll have to sacrifice it, but that's okay. We'll keep this Besaju. Stack some bounce triggers. Yeah, we'll just not auto yield the Saga triggers. That's a recipe for disaster. If I've learned anything, pick up one of the Sanctuaries. Honestly, maybe we just float the Saga and pick it up. I mean, we have threats for days, though, right? We definitely want to pick up the Besaju to play around things. I mean, I don't really see a reason to lose the Saga, I guess. We're not really getting any value out of it, so we might as well pick it up. And then, I guess, just Sunhome. Play Amulet. And I guess we're saving Saga. Staggering them seems like a good choice, so... In case our opponent has, like, Alpine Moon or something. Alpine Moon, guys. That's the card. That's what gets us. Prismatic Ending. Oh no! How can we beat Prismatic Ending? That turn was fairly good, I would say. A pretty decent turn, all things considered. We can even Titan and haste here. Like, kind of the world is our oyster here. Don't even need blue mana. Who needs it? 4 cards. Packed. Right. I mean, honestly, letting them untap with Teferi 5 again is, like, not the worst possible thing in the world. Let's see. We could float red-white, Titan, assuming it resolves, get Slayers, bounce land, pick it up, activate 1 Saga, haste a token, go at Teferi. We can also just Dryad into Colossus here and force... I mean, unfortunately, we're not really necessarily resolving anything here. We could always just, like, Instep Endurance, or, like, play a non-committal Dryad, Instep Endurance, shuffle our stuff back in. Or we could force them to have the answer right now. They didn't hold up Counterspell that turn. Maybe that means they don't have it, but they also have drawn an extra card or 2 from their Teferis, so, like, I don't know. We kind of have such a wealth of resources, I don't exactly know what to do with this. I think we're winning off the back of these Sagas anyways. I don't see a reason not to commit Dryad, but I don't want to cast a threat for no reason, since we have 2 threats in play here, so... We'll just do this. Put Dryad into play, and plan to activate some Sagas. See how well that they can fare this onslaught. Or they can counterspell Dryad. I mean, now I feel a little more inclined to actually jam a threat. Is that greedy, though? I feel like that might be greedy, just playing into another counterspell. I don't know, forcing them to have it when we have 2 backup threats is, like, not the worst plan. But let's just kill Teferi. Oh, wait. Not since we already played land and tapped red source. We could Colossus. I think we could Titan Dryad. Nah, we don't really have a line that actually kills. But we could pack for Dryad, play Dryad plus Titan, and that might kill Teferi, assuming both resolve. Yeah, we can just construct it, but like, what's the likelihood they have second counterspell here? Like, if they have Solitude, making them pitch cast to not lose their entire board is like very good here, right? And the extra tokens just die to a dress down anyways. I think Pact, Dryad, and Titan is like good here, to be honest. See if Pact resolves. Hopefully I'm not just like punting the game away, but like, I feel like this makes sense, forcing them to use their resources very poorly. If they counterspell this, I'm pretty happy. I mean, now Titan is just resolving, right? We can Titan, get double bouncing, and just pick up the sagas. I mean, there's no way we're not tightening here, right? They have third counterspell. What? Okay, well, you know, all this is just gonna get shuffled back in with endurance anyways, so, like, I guess we don't care. We can still just, like, get mapped for haste land and haste a token after making tokens in our draw step here anyway, so, like, we're still pressuring this Teferi. Dude, they actually just had triple counterspell. They actually just had it. Okay. I mean, that's a way to lose, I guess. It didn't hold up any of the previous turn. You got me. They have Castle Vantress. That's so much value. I mean, admittedly, if somehow our Cultivator were not to resolve, I guess we could just get Amulet map for Cavern. Wow. Of all the things to Wildfire, they choose Sunhome, huh? Okay. That's a choice to make. Just giving us 3 copies of Saga seems good. They must have a dress down. That, or they're just punting. I don't know. Right, let's not lose the game, I think. Tap our blue mana here. We're not transmuting. 2 cards. What does that even mean? I mean, are we just wasting construct value again just to slam Dryad into Cultivator because they probably don't have it? Or are we playing... I feel like we're getting less blown out if we just go for the Saga plan here, so... Like, if they do dress down. Right, we can let this one go, and we're definitely getting map. Oh, I guess we don't have any other option. This is that was the 4th amulet, I guess? I don't know. There's another... That's weird. Can pay 2 crack map, get Slayers, play Slayers, kill Teferi. Or we can activate this here. I guess there's no reason to activate now. Oh wait, we have to activate now if we're getting value from it. So we activate, leave red, white, pay 2, play. We will not be able to activate second Saga. I feel like it doesn't matter, actually. I think I'm going to wait to activate Saga on their instep because that plays around dress down a little better. This is not getting anything. We'll map here. Get Slayers. Play Slayers. Playing... I guess we can play Endurance here off the extra mana. Or just, like, let the mana go to waste. We could play Dryad Besiege You and still be able to activate Saga. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad. Guess we'll do that. Playing into another counterspell. Bless them if they had it. Right? We'll haste the Construct for sure. Dryad has way more value than Construct. Use your removal spell, opponent, or lose Teferi Hero Dominaria. And we will be able to get this amulet and map back if we Endurance in response to the Saga trigger. Force them to remove the Construct out of play. Yep, there's the Solitude. Are we just gonna get them? Oh, they saw to the Dryad, so they're gonna trade with the token. Do we want to trade? I feel like we just play into 3 fairy or something if we don't trade, so I'm still attacking. Because they could 3 fairy bounce Solitude, and then that puts us in a world of hurt, so... I mean, there's definitely a way to lose this game, and the line I've chosen seems like we might be losing right now, actually, but I can't quite tell. Oh, wait, hold on. We don't want to yield through here. I mean, I don't know. I think, like, playing into triple counterspell is, like, played around that one. I think playing into triple counterspell is defensible, because, like, what's the likelihood they had the other 3? Because they played, or maybe they played counterspell the other game. Maybe that wasn't this game. I don't know. Now everything is attacking every turn, so that's cool. We will make a threat here. Seems good. Honestly, I'm pretty happy they bounced Saga here. Like, we don't have anything to search for. It was just gonna make us a second token and die. So, like, they are prismatic ending this. Sure. We will play Endurance and haste it, so... They have 1 card left. 1 card. Should we just slam Colossus here? I think we haste with Endurance first. Let's see. We haste. We still have enough to play Colossus after that, so it's fine. Force them to answer this. And if they don't, then their Teferi dies. And if they do, then we just go for Colossus. They dress down. I don't think this works. They had to do it in response to Slayer's, or after the Slayer's activation, right? It stops us from reshuffling, I guess, but we have a second Endurance, so... Like, I'm pretty sure we still get to kill their Planeswalker here, right? Because now it's going to gain the abilities back, right? Ice to tap it. Okay. Well, it's a good thing we didn't just go straight for the Colossus, because their last card was, in fact, freaking Dress Down. All right, we'll play Saga and pass. I mean, playing Saga denies us a draw with the Cultivator, so maybe we're not even supposed to play it there, but... If our opponent wins this game, I'm going to be shocked. I mean, they have an active 5 fairy, and have had that for a while, so... It's really not that crazy. And they haven't even used Vantress either. They've just been, like, getting there without scrying. Emrakul, huh? Emrakul. I mean, I don't know if they can do anything that bad to us with Emrakul. Endurance, no shuffle. Haste, Endurance, attack into Emrakul, like, and then we get to take our turn, like... I guess if we were to draw something, like, very good here, they could potentially kill us with, like, Valka triggers or something, but... I don't know. I'll see how they choose to play out our turn for us. Does this mean we're popping off Saga now? I think it does. Explorer. Boseiju. We can't hit our own things with Boseiju, by the way. I know because I've trying to get out from underneath Magus effects and things like that. So they can't mess us up with our own Boseiju here. That's nice. Oh, and this Boseiju also means that we're good against Dress Down, because if they Dress Down, we can just kill it and then let the Cultivator resolve, so there's that. Yeah, casting Endurance. Oh, they pitched the Cultivator. That is pretty rough, actually. I didn't see that one. Look, it's not my job to play my opponent's Emrakul for them, you know? I'm gonna let them do it. It's not worth my my thought power, you know? Yeah, that is pretty rough. I mean, if we top deck Titan here, probably still pretty good. We have gone from having threats to having no threats. See what we draw? Relevant card? Vesuva. That's not really a relevant card, actually. I think we're losing this game, chat. We have nothing to search for with the Saga. Yeah, they found the perfect way to stabilize it. So good for them. Very well played game on their side. Guess we're copying Slayers. We're not technically dead, but concede for time. I mean, we can literally just hit the F6 button every turn from this point on if we really wanted to. And burn down their clock, although we're dead in 2 hits from the Emrakul anyways, so. If we get a Titan, what can we do? Transmute. I don't think there's anything we can do here, actually. Yeah, we'll just pack it in, go to the... Is this the final game? I think so. Wow, that game was looking great, and then it wasn't. We didn't see any copies of Chalice, but I think 3 Summers Pack is about where we want to be anyways. Just gonna run it back. This time we'll draw Cavernous Souls. How about that? That was a crazy game, though, actually. I don't know, maybe all of that was a butterfly effect from me not activating Sagas in that one turn. Do you think I should have? Yep. And imagine if we had top decked a Grazer there. Yeah, I don't think having this in the deck is necessary. You think the no double activation messes up, huh? I guess it did give us a way to actually lose. This hand has no ramp, but it has Saga, which just gets bounced by 3 Fairy. Not if we're on the play, though. But that means we're not getting value out of it. Like Saga, Cavern, Forest, any ramp. I guess, like, Azusa or Summons Pack lets us Titan. I don't know. A copy Vesuva, a copy Castle with Vesuva, that would have been a good line. I think we were just dead there anyways, though. Bog, I don't know. I don't really care about their graveyard. Hand seems bad. I mean, it has Cavern, though. Yeah, we'll mulligan it. This hand's better, I guess. We'll keep. I think we're bottoming Colossus. I don't know. Having an extra Dryad to cast, we can get a couple threats in, hopefully underneath counter magic. Colossus isn't really doing anything for us anyways, so hopefully we will eventually draw a threat, but... Opponent mulligans to 5, by the way. I'm concerned, guys. I think I might have found the only way to punt away the 5-0. Lead on Slayer's Stronghold Pass. That way we can actually cast a colorless 1-drop if we were to draw it. Amulet into Sanctuary Explorer would be pretty nice, actually. Castle. Alright, we'll play Simic. Yeah, they boarded in Emrakul against us, right? I mean, it's not that wild because they can Emrakul after we cast a Pact and then have us not pay and we just lose. I think I'm jamming Dryad in Counterspell here as opposed to Explore because the extra card draw from Explore matters, and I think that Dryad is not likely to stick anyways. It's more mana efficient, so... Are we doing the same thing, or are we exploring now and just getting blown out by second Counterspell? Do we actually want the threat in play yet? That is a question. If we play Dryad and they Teferi bounce it, it's actually kind of bad for us, but otherwise I guess they Teferi plus? It doesn't really matter. I don't know. I'm going to go with the mana efficient play again, I think. Definitely don't have to, but hoping they don't have second Counterspell. They have Dress down here, that's fine. Of course they have second Counterspell. It's okay, we're going to be drawing a card from Explorer anyways, though, so we save the true prize for later. See if they're going to Archmage's Charm this. Oh, wait, we could cast Kura. Is there a reason not to? I don't really see a reason not to cast Kura. in theory, for all they know, if they were to like hard cast Solitude to get rid of the Kura during their next turn, we could just untap and Titan them, right? Is it Kura's time to shine? Or is it just going to get Solituded out of the game? I used to tap it. Okay. They have third counterspell. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, Dryad is an interesting one. At least we can play that. I'm not playing around Supreme Verdict, I don't think. We can play Vesuva Copy, nothing. Play Dryad. We're not going to be able to haste anything here, sadly, because we wanted to have a Sanctuary in play for specifically drawing Dryad, but we could... Yeah, I don't think there's any way to haste here, so... We don't want to play it, though, until we've played out a land drop, I guess. We'll play Sanctuary, vote with a Stronghold. Not enlarge it, that's not the intended purpose. Plus us explore as well, which I think we will do. I mean, all lands is a way to do it. Play... We can copy their Vantress here. I think I want to, actually. And, extra bounce land in hand is better in case we draw Colossus. I don't know if the mana matters. We have 7, 8... We have 8, 9. If we play a land drop out next turn, that could transmute and cast something, but it's just playing into another counterspell. I think I'm just playing Slayers. Have to play Stronghold if I'm copying Castle. Why is that? Also, I might have missed an extra land drop there. Now I think about it, but... Oh, wait. I should... On my... Oh, whatever. I should have set a stop. It's okay. Saga's a good draw. I think I don't want to activate Slayers here. I mean, it's pretty free not to activate it, but let's just go to combat. The Vigilance doesn't matter. If we want to activate Slayers, we can do it after attacking. See if they're killing anything. Solitude. Are we searching for lands with Kura? No way, right? That'll exile the... They'll exile the Kura and then block the Dryad. No, blocking Dryad doesn't even make any sense. They'll just get rid of the Kura. Well, at least we don't have to worry about them solituding a Titan in the future. Yep, no blocks. So if we go red... If we tap these two, play land... Because I didn't play a land before combat, we actually can't Stronghold here, or we're not going to be able to Vantress. So, oops, I guess. We'll set a stop on my upkeep. Play Saga. And I think maybe we just want the lands in hand here. I don't know. We play Bounce, we have an upkeep Scry and have essentially a Titan. I mean, we're probably not playing Titan into counterspell at this point, though, so... There's really not a reason not to just play this, though. From now on, I probably will not be playing more lands, though. I gotta say, I'm starting to get the multi-hour play fog. Starting to get tired. I play Otawara. Prismatic Ending Dryad. Okay. Oh, keep hitting the wrong button. So we'll do our scrying here. We kind of want the Cavern, actually. I think we top the Cavern and bottom the Azusa. We'll draw, and then we can Vantress to set up our next one. We don't want to play any lands here, I don't think. Guess if we played Slayers, we could play Cavern, put down a Titan, and potentially be able to haste it off Crumbling Vestige. Hasting it might be an easy way to lose the game. Instead of just setting up T-West, I think we're probably better off just not even planning to Slayers here, just keeping lands in hand for a potential Colossus. The Wildfire Saga. Oh no. Admittedly, that's not great for us, but we will search. Our little 1/1 construct. Holding the fort, I guess. No blocks, obviously. Guess we'll go scrying and look for that Colossus, huh? Shuffles in the Colossus we bottomed. Oh yeah, that's fair. All right, it's gonna be in the top 3 cards. I can feel it. Amulet Explorer. Yeah, we don't want either of these because both of these just get counterspelled anyways. So probably upkeep scrying here. If we do, we can top deck exactly Titan and cavern it down, which I guess is the idea. Kura. I don't think that's going to be a good enough threat. Maybe it is, though. It stonewalls the Solitude and demands an answer. But is it worth wasting a Cavernous on? We could also just play Saga out if we're not drawing a threat. Or we could bottom both and hope to draw exactly Titan. Honestly, I think playing Saga out probably makes more sense. I think we don't want Kura for sure. The question is, do we want the Saga or not? I don't really see a reason not to take Saga, so... I mean, they could, like, Spreading Seas it or, you know, somehow deal with the Saga, but I think this is... It's fine to have 2 things to do with our mana, so... I mean, if we attack, getting got by another Solitude, but I guess we'd just rather than cast a Solitude anyways, so... We're definitely not blocking, so we might as well take our 1 point, right? We might eventually start getting clocked by this Hall of the Storm Giants. That would be unpleasant. Yep, Archmage's Charm to draw. Arguably worse for us than them just countering one of our spells at this point. We have the Cavern. I mean, this Saga makes our 1/1 construct a little bit more threatening now. We can get a Talari West off of the Saga, like when we get Expedition Map. Why am I not just yielding through the turn here? There's nothing we can do anyways. Are we upkeep scrying again, or are we just scrying on their instep? Oh, they're bouncing Saga with Teferi. Oh, they're bouncing the construct with Teferi. Okay. They have manlands for days. We need a Colossus. That's the idea. Colossus. 4, 6, 7. We scry here and find Colossus. We can still cavern it down. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and scry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's fine. Neither of those is the card that we want, so we'll bottom them both. Second Saga is actually kind of enticing, but I just want a threat that we can cavern down, so... Amulet is not really what I would consider to be a threat, but... And I think at this point, because of the possibility of Prismatic Ending, we're just, like, not playing it, so... We're getting controlled, people. Not in the most exciting game 3 here, but... This was our opponent's Mold of 5, by the way. I guess we don't want to yield until Instep in case they try to go answering our Saga. Jace, okay. We need that threat pronto. Opponent eventually will just Emrakul 13 us, by the way. It's coming. We know they boarded it in. I guess that's one reason to potentially want Bog, but we can always just shuffle them with Endurance anyways. I don't know. I don't think Bog's really doing anything relevant here. Yep, the the unfortunate news of resolved Planeswalker is very unfortunate news. I think this is the end of our 5-0 dream. We'll see. I wish we had played this match earlier in the league and not exactly match 5 in a row, because I'm not all there cognitively right now. Definitely not blocking. It's a strange attack since we can attack their planeswalkers, but we can actually attack and kill. No, we can't kill Jace because we don't have the red for the stronghold. Yep, next stream we see a trophy. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. I guess we're going scrying again. Sure. Summoner's Pact. They have 3 cards. I think that Pact is probably not good enough, but I mean, it's also now or never. Because after this turn, they're just going to infinite Jace value us. So, like, I just think that there's no way that they don't have a counterspell here. Although they did plus Jace. Do we try to spike the actual threat for the cavern, or we go for the Pact here? What do you think? We can still construct, that's true. I mean, I don't think constructing is actually winning the game here, though. You know what? We'll give it a shot. What's the likelihood we had an actual threat underneath this pack anyways? I'm actually listening to chat suggestions. We'll see if this was worth it. Oh, but we can't pack the instant speed, so we have to commit to activating the saga or not activating here. Think we're just going to commit to not activating. Get map, I guess. Pact? 7. What? It resolved? I guess we're going Cultivator here. Oh, but they could have Dress Down. Oh, they're going to Dress Down us. We don't have a choice. We actually don't have a choice, but they're totally going to Dress Down us. This is going to be the way that we lose. At least this way, we're beating Counterspell, but not Dress Down, whereas before, Dress Down kind of and Counterspell both would have been a problem, so this is only drawing us 2 cards anyways. It resolved. Alright, we can find some things here. Extra sagas, extra threats. Talari West counts. Kurta, not the best here. And that's it. We didn't find a Titan. So we'll pick up T-West for sure. Oh, we gotta place them on the stack. Pick up T-West. And I guess Bounce Land. We don't even have a red source to naturally activate our Slayers here, so yeah, we'll just pick this up. And pass it back to them. Swing 2 at Teferi, I guess. Attack Teferi, get that thing out of play. So they don't have Dress Down. Gotta go fast. True. Honestly, if we lose the time, I'm okay with that, because I'm feeling tired and lazy right now. Hate to say it. I can't be the hero that you guys need. Instant Speed Supreme Verdict. Oh my gosh, they still have Supreme Verdict against us. Okay. Well, we're paying for Pact. Are we just transmuting? I mean, they didn't counterspell our Summoner's Pact, so does that mean they just don't have it? They get to brainstorm here with a Jace. Oh, they plus Jace again? Okay, I guess we're putting a Titan into play. And they would have counterspelled Summoner's Pact, right? Or maybe they were just relying on us getting Titan and they Supreme Verdict? I guess they're playing on winning with Jace, right? I mean, we're at 12. They have manlands. Like, what is... Oh, they're just letting us Titan here, I guess. I don't know. We gotta not lose the game. So I guess we're tapping. I mean, we want to have our white in play for double striking, perhaps. Although we probably Dryad and a Titan is the way that we're winning here. I'm getting the read that they don't have a counterspell, possibly. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we draw the Titan too. A Dryad and the Titan looks pretty good here. Play Amulet. See if they counter it. Want to counter this? We'll play Dryad. Play Bounce Land and then Titan, so that way we can still have Slayer Stronghold up, and we're getting double Valcut off the Titan trigger, I guess. Oh wait, we can actually uncounterable our Titan here if we float and pick up the Cavern. That's got to be better. This guarantees Valcut. Giant. We need the uncounterable one. We want to leave the white floating. Actually, it doesn't matter, because we're going to be getting Valcuts and floating white with Dryad ability anyways, so. Is this even lethal? I actually don't know. I think maybe we're supposed to just ignore their Planeswalkers at this point, too. Because they have to have exactly Solitude here, right? And even if they kill our Dryad here, we're still being able to haste and attack, so. Yep, we're just going all in at this point. Our opponent has nothing, and we know it. 1 minute, 50 seconds on the clock. We need this hyper speed to come through. They're pausing here, which makes me think they probably have Solitude or Instant Speed Prismatic Ending or something. Ice to tap Titan. Okay. Interesting. Do we have another land drop? Because we can map for Vesuva. Oh wait, Vesuva's in play. We can map for fetch land, I guess? Well, I don't know if this is letting us play or we just transmute. No more land drops. I mean, I guess we're just hasting and attacking their Teferi, so they can't, because they can 0 Jace anyways. So go to combat. I mean, it's what we got. Attack the Teferi, get it out of play, and pass, and then we can map on their instep for something. They need another Supreme Verdict, I guess. Minus Jace to bounce Titan. That's the play. 1 minute 18. This is like down to the wire. What are we even supposed to map for? I guess fetch land here? Wandering Emperor to exile Titan. Okay. I mean, they still have to answer the Dryad. We might be able to haste and attack with Kura here. Actually, hasted Kura kills their Jace, so. There's routes. Kura haste fetch should kill. Feels like it does. They're still plussing Jace too. On 3 minutes. Kind of strange. Tapping out. They have Prismatic Ending. I think we're still mapping for fetch land in case we draw Dryad. Or we actually kill them with Transmute for Dryad, right? We may not have enough land drops. If we get Bounce Land, we can haste Dryad for... Yeah, Bounce Land is actually lethal here. Wait, hon. What is going on? Oh, I didn't float as much mana as I thought I did. That's what it is. What is happening? It didn't... Ugh, this is frustrating. Sorry, I'm too tired for this. I'm cutting it way too close. No, we're just packing for Dryad and playing land twice and hasting and killing them. Oh, there's no more Dryads! Titan instead, I guess. Just float all the mana. What is... This is crazy! This is crazy! Wait, honestly, we probably just shouldn't search. We don't have enough time for that. I'm not casting anything. I'm just attacking and hitting no. Pass. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We need to untap. Oh, they said good games, close games. Let's double strike here, I guess. We have the time, hopefully. Come on. Come on, come on, down to the wire. We need to go fast. Wait, 5. No, I was yielded. It just, oh, fuck. Okay, it's okay. We got 2 seconds. We got this. Man, we actually had lethal there on the clock, but close. That should have been a 5-0, but you know, it's okay. Well, anyways, okay, sorry. Pulling myself together here. Okay. So, unfortunately, the extra time that I was spending talking and not quite focusing did end up mattering at the end, so probably should have been a 5-0, but oh wait, I even put 5-0 for the record. That is not accurate. I'm sorry, guys. I need to hop off. I'm so tired. Okay, closing it up. Okay, so went 4-1. We did get to play Kura against specifically the control decks, and it's very obvious that against specifically blue-white with all the exile effects and stuff, and all the counterspells, Kura is difficult to handle. Like, we already have 3 relevant creature types that we want to put Cavern on, and Giant, and Plant/Beast, and Dryad. So, being able to get a Kura into play off Cavern is pretty unlikely, and it just gets solituded, and they have tons of card advantage, so I think maybe it's not even worth boarding in Kura against control. I can't tell. Thank you for the well wishes, by the way, everybody in the chat. I don't know. Maybe it is better to just be playing the Hydroid Krasis. I think that would be better against the control decks, but I actually think that against specifically Blue-Red Murktide, Kura is probably better than Hydroid Krasis actually in that matchup. So, I don't know. Jury's out on that. It depends on if you're trying to beat your control opponents or your Murktide opponents. Kura is just otherwise just a general threat to bring in against Black-Green X, that kind of thing. I do like Kura, I would say. I currently am playing Kura. I might switch back and forth and try to test them out and see which one I prefer overall, but I mean, I don't know what to say. We were very, very close to the 5-0. Almost got it, and you know what? We'll get it next time. There's a little bit of little bit of bumps and not quite the straight, narrow road that we wanted on the first stream, and that's okay. And I really wouldn't make any changes to the list, to be honest. I think the Relic makes sense. I think extra explosives are good against the creativity matchups. Maybe swapping Kura for Krasis could be good, or like a third Dismember, but like, honestly, I feel like Amulet just continues to perform, and yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there. Thank you for joining me. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.